Alright, today I am really excited. I just got this back in the mail. It's the Bulldog full camouflage version by Crosman. As you saw in my last videos I did on the black one, that was sent to me from a friend of mine, Claude. This one is mine. It came in just after the other one shipped back out. This is the full camo version that Crosman's got. And you know me, I love camouflage on everything. Well, as you saw from the numbers on the first videos that we did, how we really couldn't get above 170 foot-pounds with any of the slugs. So what I did is I contacted a good friend of mine. He's a power tuner, modification type fella, Travis over at Wicked Air Rifles, wickedairrifles.com. And I asked him, have you had a chance to look at the Bulldog? He says, no, why don't you send it over? I'll see what I can do. He does a lot of the modifications on Marauders. He's got all sorts of bits, pieces, and parts he gets in there and works on. So I wanted to see what type of magic he could do with this gun. And let me tell you, I am extremely impressed. I cannot go over the intricate details on what he did, what he milled, drilled, machined, changed, because I really don't know the details of it. I can just tell you that if you call him up or you shoot him an email, say you want the Bulldog power tune, and that's what he does, and it's just really remarkable. I'm totally just so satisfied with this right now. It's unbelievable. With all the numbers I was playing with, I'll show those to you here in a bit, but I was pushing generally 200 foot-pounds on almost every single hollow point, except the little 85 grain. But all of them got jacked up. We'll go check these numbers out in a bit. But basically we're starting with a 3,000 psi fill. I'm doing 10 shots, and you do get a bell curve now. Okay, it's not like it was previous where it's 100 psi per shot. It's a little bit more, not by much, but you're getting a bell curve where the first and second shot are high, and then the third shot's even higher. That's kind of peak and it's climbing slightly, and then starts back down to shot number 10. Now, of course, the 10 shot's kind of weak. We started with 3,000 psi. We still ended up with, give or take, right about 1,500 psi. So we're still using 1,500 psi, but instead of on a stock gun, you're getting 15 shots for 15. On this, I'm getting 10 shots for 1,500 psi. But that's giving you really straight 5 or 6 right off the bat that are lethal as can be. So I'm getting a real kick out of this. So we'll work through it, and I'll show you the numbers, show you what we've been shooting, but I shot a lot of different weights on this time. The other thing I did is goofing around. I made my own little single shot tray because I didn't want to deal with the magazine. It's just a piece of archery foam that I sit there and gouged out, and then ran a little hot piece of metal through it and made myself a nice little circle. But that's something else that Travis is going to be working on, is making single shot trays for the gun also. But we wanted to get this video out to you as soon as possible, let you know what's going on. But you can easily shoot my 165 now. Way more powerful than it was with stock. So I think you're going to really like this. Let's take a look at some of these numbers that I'm playing with. Now what you're going to see here are 10-shot groups at 20 yards, starting at 3,000 psi, ending at 1,500 psi. Now I know this is boring, but what do you want out of me? A dinner and a dance? Just watch it and enjoy. The 120. The 135. The 155. Oh yeah. Alright, my lighting totally sucks here. The ballast burnt out, so I'm limited, and I'm trying to get stuff up to make it at least viewable. Alright fellas, let's see if we can keep along here. Alright, so this is the grain. This was the feet per second before with the stock. and then after with the tune job. Feet per second. Alright. There's a lot of squigglies here, but it's pretty simple. 85 grain with the stock gun was doing 870 feet a second. Get out the way here. Now it's doing 975. Huge jump. 100 grain slug, 856 feet per second, 989. Huge jump. 120 grain, 810 feet a second, 893. 140 grain, 725, very piss poor, 827, beautiful and marvelous. 165, 710. I mean, it won't hardly mushroom at this speed. 791 to 800. Okay, so you can see the before and the after on this tune job was phenomenal. I love what Travis did here. It's not sucking up all the air. I'm still getting 10 shots, but really the first 5 is all I'm playing with. After that, I'll refill it. But I did 10 on every single weight to play around. Now this was the before and after. Okay, let's show you what I actually did on this, because it spent the entire day farting around. All right, grain, feet per second, foot-pounds of energy. Okay, pay attention. You in the back row, stop picking your nose. Pay attention. All right, 85 grain, 100 grain, 116, 120, 135, 140, 155, 165. I started all these at 3,000 psi. I did 10 shots on each bullet weight, okay? And I was just amazed what we got here. I mean, the increase, 179 foot-pounds. That's pretty darn good, considering before we had 142 foot-pounds. Okay? 100 grain, 989, 217. 217 with 100 grain, that's awesome. The 120, 893, 213. 135, 832, 207. Okay, of course it's going to get a little, dependent upon the weight. The 140, which is one of my favorites, 827, 212. The 155, that's like an Elmer Keith bullet. I don't push it a lot because it just doesn't fly that great in a lot of guns. 821, 232 foot-pounds. 232. And then the Arnoldnator, the Schwarzenegger, the 165, 791, 229, almost 230 foot-pounds. So Claude, this is for you. You wanted this bullet going fast enough to mushroom and slaughter a deer or a pig. I think I did it for you, young man. I think I did it for you. Actually, I didn't do it. Travis at Wicked Air Rifles did. Now, we do have a bit of a bell curve, so let me explain some of that. This is the bell curve. Everyone say with me, the bell curve. Okay? Now, my handwriting's not the greatest, so please, I don't want to see any more crap on YouTube going, hey, Vogel can't write. Okay? These videos are for fun and information. If you guys can't figure that out, you need to go watch someone else's video. Okay? I'm not doing this because I'm getting paid for it. I'm doing it because I like to do it. So, feet per second on this side. Alright? Starting at 500, going up to 1,000. And then my shot count. 1 through 10. Alright? No Microsoft. Freehand. Alright. With my numbers, the first 3 shots, the numbers started to climb, as you can see in the bell curve. And then 4, 5, 6 through 10, the power level started dropping down with the speed. Hence the term bell curve, like a bell, doing. But that's what the term bell curve means. A lot of guys I talk to, especially the newbies, what's a bell curve mean? I don't understand. Well, there's your bell curve. So starting at 3,000 psi, ending up at 1,500. Here, let's put that on there. Okay. 3,000 right there. 1,500 psi, ending there. Okay. Got a curve like a bell. All right. So right around here would be 2850 maybe, 2750. That's what I guess you'd call the sweet spot. Okay, I'd still put 3,000 in the gun just because it's easier to look at on a gauge. But 3,000, 1,500 PSI usage, simple math, 15 from 30 is 15. All right, 10 shots. There's your bell curve. It's a real sweet deal. I'm very happy with what Travis did for this, okay? If you get questions, give the man a call or send him an email. I'll have his information on there. We're going to shoot some ballistic gel and put some other pictures in there. But this is really to show the power. I'm not going out there, the TEDs, and doing a bunch of stuff. This is to kind of show what the power curve here is. And going from a stock gun to a tune gun, you know, on what you're getting. All right? It's a beautiful job, real beautiful job. All right, let's talk about this ballistic gel. All right? Now, I've been shooting these blocks and melting them down so many times that they're not crystal clear anymore. They've got this beautiful yellow hue to them. Looks like somebody peed in it. But it still does the job. I mean, I don't think you can see it too good in the video. But all the slugs that we put through here, all the different weights, went from 8 to 12 inches penetration. Hopefully we'll see on the video if they slow motion if it caught any of the expansion bubble in here, but they all did a real good job. I'll peel them out here in a bit and show you the individual pictures, but I wanted to show the block first. Works well here. You can see how far that went in. That's 16 inches. That's 12. So we're right around 10 inches right off the bat. That's a 100. Wow. 120 went almost as far as the 100. Done some massive damage. .116 is sweet also. So far, so good. No lemons. Well, 140 did a great job too. Real nice job. Let's try that 155. All right, well, we don't have a lemon in this bunch. I don't know what else to say, but it just, with almost the identical depth on each single one, I would probably venture to go with the heavier side of the slugs and the lighter side. Just because with the foot-pounds of energy being almost the same, those heavier slugs are going to give you a little more knockdown. That's, the thing I always like. It's better to go heavy and be safe than to go light and, sacrifice a little bit. But really it's up to you as the individual on what you're going for. I mean, if you're shooting nothing but coyotes and fox and things like that out at 100 yards, there's no need to go with a super huge heavy slug like a 140 or a 160. You could be shooting the 92s or something like less than 100 all day long. But if you're going for pigs or deer or large game in that respect, then I really would go with the 140 and above. And you will get some good expansion and mushrooming on these hollow points with this speed. On the stock gun, not so much. But once you've had it jacked up a little bit, it's going to do it. I mean, we're pushing so much you've seen on the energy chart that it's really worth the time and effort that if you really like this Bulldog and that's what you want to work with, it's worth the investment to get it jacked up a bit. I don't think you're going to go wrong. But we'll peel this apart and take a look and do a side-by-side comparison. How's that? Okay. Try if I can move this in without screwing it up too much. These are all the little bullets that we played with. Alright. Let's see if I can flip these over and get a side view of these. Okay, that's not going to work good. These guys want to roll. There we go. Now, all this testing I've done today has just been for power. Some of these are a little more accurate than others, but as you know, as everybody knows, not every slug works good in every single gun. So later on, when I can get out the TEDs, we'll do some distance shooting. But right now, this is for power, and this gun now has the power. Unbelievable. I want to thank everybody for watching. I know this isn't a big video where we're blowing a ton of stuff up, but I wanted to do a power tune, okay? And that's what we did. You see, look at the previous video and look at this video, you'll see the difference on the power. I want to thank Travis at wickedairrifles.com for doing the work. His information will be at the end of the video here, of course. And if you have any questions, contact him. Don't contact me because I am not a tech person. Thank Crossman, of course, for making this wonderful product. I really do like this Bulldog. If we get some more work done with the LDC and stuff, I'll do another video and show it to you. But as for now, I think I've covered most of the basics on power. We've a ton of different hollow points. Shot the ballistic gel. We chronographed everything. We did 10 rounds on each bullet. Showed the high and the low, starting at 3,000 psi, ending at 1,500 psi. I don't think there's much more I can do other than getting out there and you know, doing like a 50-yard group testing, which I don't have the ability to do right now. I'm limited on when I can get out and do that. So that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, make your comments on YouTube and I'll totally ignore them like I do all the time. And for you guys that like just trolling the internet and throwing down garbage and getting in fights and calling each other names and insulting your mothers and you know, the situations with each other's mothers, you go right ahead, okay? It doesn't bother me. All you're doing is insulting yourself on a national platform. But the whole point of these videos is to have fun with air rifles, okay? I don't care whose you shoot. I don't care what bullets you shoot. As long as you're out there having fun, you're doing what you enjoy to do, and that's kind of the whole purpose of this, all right? So Mr. Hollow Point says, see you later on the next video. Hope you had a good time, and can't think of anything else to say other than I am awesome.